Welcome to another video. You're looking great, by the way. You at home sitting on the toilet. Are you watching me on the toilet right now? Because if you are, you got to comment. What size was the shit that you just took? Are we talking little nuggets or a big, massive shit? Regardless, I hope your shit went well. If you need to shit, take me to the restroom with you, and I will be there holding your hand as you take that epic shit. But speaking of epic shit, today we're gonna be reading some epic Reddit stories, which have my favorite things: debauchery, people just going ape shit, etc. Without further ado, let's get into the first one. By the way, that's my cat Oliver, the executive producer. He's right there. He's the executive producer of this channel and all the other stuff I do. So, by the way, my name's Emmanuel. Call me Emmanuel, whatever you want to call me. And here we go. So, first story. My husband of 20 years is cheating on me with our son's 18-year-old girlfriend. What? How old is this man? So the story goes, I'm going to use pseudonyms for anyone I reference in this post. I, 41 female, am a stay-at-home mom. My husband, 48 male, who we'll call Paul, works in finance. There's your first red flag. So Paul works at finance, her husband. We have been married for nearly 20 years. We have two kids whom we'll call Eric, our 18-year-old son, currently a senior in high school, and Mary, our 15-year-old daughter. They are both the lights of my life. My marriage with my husband has grown somewhat stale over the years for a myriad of reasons, such as his work schedule and how I've aged poorly since we first met. Oh, no. So, right off the bat, OP has, I would say, some self-esteem issues, right? If she says I've aged poorly, it could have been that she feels that way or he did something to make her feel that way. Although, I mean, based on the title, my husband of 20 years is cheating on me with their son's 18-year-old girlfriend. That'll do it. But let's read on. So, our son Eric has a girlfriend, 18 female, whom he's been dating since they were freshmen in high school. We'll call her Amy. Eric absolutely adores Amy. She's his first love, and she's someone I've always considered as family. This makes the whole situation emotionally excruciating for me. Last week, I inadvertently saw my husband's phone screen, and I got a glimpse of a text thread between my husband and Amy, our son's girlfriend. And that's all in caps. Our son's girlfriend. She wants you to remember that Amy, this sweet 18-year-old kid, well, technically adult, but kid, is their son's girlfriend. Anyways, and I read what looked like a message of her telling him that she misses sucking his cock. Oh, shit. I froze in place in complete disbelief. I spent most of the day convincing myself that I must have misread what I saw. However, I didn't misread it because over the last several days, I discovered a file on his computer filled with tons of BDSM porn. He clearly has a porn addiction. He also has saved photos of Amy from her Instagram on his computer, although they weren't inappropriate. She was fully clothed. Well, duh. I mean, you can't post crazy stuff on Instagram. I've tried. It was still the proof I needed to confirm that I wasn't going crazy. I also looked at his phone during opportune moments and saw more of their interactions. I wish I had never looked. They were filled with mean, horrible things said at my expense, with him constantly comparing me to her. He would call me fat and old, among other things, with Amy LOLing. Jesus, who is this man? Tell me who he is. I'll find him and tell him, stop being a butthead. I've always had hunches or paranoid feelings that Paul has been cheating on me, but never in a million years could I have fathomed something like this. Last month, I found a thong in our bedroom, and I know it wasn't mine. I turned a blind eye to it, being naive and acting like maybe our daughter, like it was maybe our daughter's, even though that made zero sense. Not only is he cheating on me, but he's betraying our son. I'm completely devastated. I don't think that words can adequately describe the dread, anger, shock I feel right now. I'm totally overwhelmed on how to handle this because obviously action needs to be taken, but I'm terrified of what kind of psychotic blow this will be for my son. I have no idea how to even approach this. It's misspelled broach, but I'm thinking she means approach this. completely fucked up topic with him. I wouldn't wish this predicament on my own enemy, on my worst enemy. I can't even believe I married this scumbag in the first place. Real quick, what the hell? Um, this lady, right? OP is female, so I'm assuming she uses female pronouns. I'm still new to the pronoun game, by the way, and I'm learning a lot, so it's pretty cool. Dude, she sounds like the sweetest. She expressed how she feels anger and, well, betrayed, right? But she's still putting her son first, saying like, "Oh, this is gonna devastate Eric." Shout out to OP. She seems like a wonderful person, and I'm intrigued. So let's go on. Then my mind started to race, realizing that I started noticing specifically unusual behavior from him around the same time Amy turned 18. Are you kidding me? This motherfucker was waiting for her to turn 18, you piece. Was he waiting for her? Oh, she goes on to say what I literally just said. Was he waiting for her to turn 18 before pursuing this affair? There's so many layers to all of this, and I'm completely paralyzed with fear and dread about it all. None of it makes any fucking sense. How did this happen? Am I that much of a stupid idiot that I let all of this happen under my watch? By the way, OP, you're not a stupid idiot. I'm sure a lot of the comments have agreed. But Eric adores Amy, and the thought of revealing this sickening truth to him terrifies me. The impact on his young heart and mind could be devastating. My heart aches for Eric and Mary, who are completely innocent bystanders. I haven't confronted my husband about this because I'm frankly scared of the domino effect. I don't know who to turn to first about this. I share my story not for sympathy, but in search of understanding and perhaps advice from those who might have had to grapple with deep betrayal. Thank you for listening. So, I mean, as a young man, right? Young in my late 20s, and by late 20s, I mean, early 30s. Every man, my theory is that all of us, it's what we call a canon effect. If you've ever seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or whatever the second one is called, you'll know what a canon event is. Something that no matter what universe you're in, right, it's going to happen. So as a man, getting cheated on is pretty much a canon event that will propel you to learn a lot about, self-acceptance, self-love, and also it'll teach you boundaries, right? However, I mean, hopefully, if you're a fellow man out there, hopefully you didn't have to go through that, or a fellow, like a woman or anything, whatever you consider yourself, whatever you identify as. Cheating feels bad, but it really teaches you a lot of character. With that said, if it's your freaking dad, your best friend, literally anybody close to you, I mean, it's sadly, it is unacceptable, but your own dad smashing your girl at 18, dude, and this girl's probably has come to the house ever since she was like, well, they say freshman year, right? So since they were 13 or 14, so that's so creepy, dude. What the hell, man? Who knows how long this dad has crushed on this girl? But let's see. So we have some more info from the original poster, OP. To not have my initial post be long-winded because I didn't think I needed to go into the minutia of this, I didn't bother going into those details. How I inadvertently saw it was this. He was on his phone. He did not have iMessage open currently on the screen, but the application was still open. You know how on an iPhone, when you swipe up and it shows all the apps that are open and you close them? When he was closing out the apps, something he does compulsively. By the way, on iPhone, you don't need to close apps. Coming from former iPhone tech, the iPhone is smart. It's not like Android. It'll manage everything for you. If you close the apps, things get slower. Fun fact. So I noticed it. It's not like he was some kind of idiotic buffoon having iMessage open for all of us to see. I saw he forgot he had the app running when he swiped up from a completely different app. Also, I did say in my post that I went back to his phone to actually solidify my suspicion on a different date. So you are incorrect in asserting that I am now magically changing my story. I am being consistent. So I guess comments were saying that she was changing her fucking story. Come on. So here's some comments on the post. If she's freshly 18, isn't this illegal? There's no way they weren't doing anything legal before she turned into an adult. Also, even if so, the age gap is over 3 decades. Your husband is sus as fuck. Police immediately. Yeah. Yeah. So, OP, she's been 18 for 5 months now. I have been able to gauge when their affair started. I'm trying my hardest to figure that out. He deletes his texts every couple of weeks, it seems like. So I haven't been able to pinpoint when this whole thing started. Okay, that's tough. Now, in these videos, right, especially these where somebody's hiding stuff, I am very tech savvy. I used to be a tech, iPhone tech. And so I'll give you some tips if there is something you can do. Here, probably not. I mean, if he has a laptop and it's syncing, I mean, no. If you delete something on iMessage on phone, it deletes it from the laptop or from your MacBook, whatever, pretty much right away too. So, yeah, you're good luck finding that. So OP adds in the comments. Thank you to oh my God, the Mexicans coming out. Thank you, gracias. Thank you for every. Oh my God. Thank you everyone for overwhelming support. I'm sorry if I haven't responded to your private messages. I'll get to it when I can. Dealing with a lot right now and taking a lot of steps that need to be taken. I'm trying to be smart and strategic with this truly surreal and terrible situation I'm in. I want to be clear that not telling my son about this was never something I was considering. I didn't mean to make it seem that way. I was just saying I'm intensely dreading it. But obviously, it needs to be addressed. It's one part of the many steps of the overall plan. I'm currently playing dumb and collecting as much evidence as I can so I can be prepared for anything and everything. I'm going to protect myself and I'm going to make sure I don't put myself in any potential harm's way. I'll post more through a more thorough update soon when I can. Well, as soon as I can, I'm assuming. But please know you've all touched my heart so much and made me feel less alone. So, holy shit. That's so smart. See, when you are married and you are in a situation where divorce might, be on the table, which in this situation, absolutely 100% valid. Yeah, you gotta, before you jump the gun, because all your feelings, right, are gonna be telling you, hey, confront this person and, confront the person. But you gotta gather all the evidence. You gotta play it smart. You gotta play the semi-long game, right? So yeah, gather everything, save the messages as screenshots, PDFs, whatever you need to do. Contact a divorce lawyer. And so let's see if the story has an update. Oh shit, there's an update. Oh, okay. So they updated March 22nd, 2024. And it actually seems to be a different post now. It's saying, I am divorcing my husband because he cheated on me with our son's 18-year-old girlfriend. Ooh. So once again, she's using the same pseudonyms. Paul is her husband. Well, let's go back really quick. She's 41 female, her husband Paul 48 male, their children Eric 18 male, their daughter Mary 15 female. So we already know what happened. So let's see. I discovered that Paul was having an affair with their son's 18-year-old girlfriend. Amy, my son, has been dating her since they were freshmen in high school. Let's go. My brother contacted me. My brother connected me to a very tough junkyard dog type lawyer. What the hell is a tough junkyard dog type lawyer? I saved screenshots of all his conversations with Amy. I was only able to get the last 3 months from iCloud. Yes! iCloud for the win. The conversations were mostly flirty and dirty talk. It was hard to stomach, completely sleazy, and I saw several negative things said about me. Oh, shit. His call history showed he talks with her for hours pretty consistently. He uses dating apps. I took screenshots of his profiles and all of the active chats he was with his matches. He was in with his matches. It's very clear he uses a filter to seek out girls who are 18 through 22 or so. Holy shit. This guy likes them younger. I copied all of his files from the computer. He goes on sex chat rooms and forums. He spends a ton of money on OnlyFans. Oh my God, dude, come on. I rummaged through every possible hiding spot I could think of in the house. He had various toys, blindfolds, cuffs, lubricants, etc. He also had different outfits, which looked kind of like a girl's Catholic school uniform and French maid type outfit too. Bro, come on, dude. If you have those kinks, do them with your wife, dude. Why you gotta be like this? I picked up Eric and Mary from school, and we drove to my brother's. They were able to sense something was Ari, AWRY. That's a new one for me. See, keep in mind, English is my second language, but I spoken English since like 2001. So there's still some words like the Ari. Well, anyways, they were able to sense something was awry. Something was awry. Oh, when I picked them up, I delicately told them the entire situation, and I broke down crying. Mary had the most anger, even more than Eric. Oh, poor guy. Poor everybody. I met with Amy's mother and told her everything. She confiscated Amy's phone and gave me the entire chat log. Ooh, it only dated back 3 months ago, like on my husband's cloud. Almost as if they both deleted the messages at the same time. She told me Amy sobbed when confronted. Amy basically told her mother that she will never understand. And that she and him were, quote, in love. I don't want to get into too many details with what else she was saying, but suffice to say, it's very easy to assume that my husband slowly and methodically became a sage-like figure in her life, making her feel she could rely on him. And he took advantage of the fact that she came from a broken home. Amy is also nonstop insistent that their friendship only became romance/physical recently. And before that, she said he was more of a, quote, friend and mentor, unquote. That's creepy, man. If you see my cat in the background, he's playing with the bottle cap. He loves bottle caps. He's super cute. He's being extra cute, but you probably can't see him right now. Anyways, I confronted Paul. Ooh, here we go. The confrontation. Let's go. This is going to be juicy. I confronted Paul over Zoom. The look on his face was scary. He became red and looked so sweaty. He must be white. He had anger and panic in his eyes. His tone, that was mean, huh? I shouldn't assume people's color, right? But if he became red, like, me, that I'm brown, it's for me to get red, it takes a lot. So this must have been a lot. That's crazy. Paul, Amy, and what are the other names? Eric. I don't know, man. Anyways, white people. Just kidding. His tone of voice was defensive and frightening. He kept yelling the word context over and over, and that none of that happened. He was unable to speak without constant stutters and intensity. Nothing really made any sense to me. I refused to tell him where I was, and he said I had no right to take his kids away from him. And then he abruptly left the Zoom. Who the fuck still uses Zoom? Well, when is this from? 2024, right? Do you guys use Zoom? Because if you have iMessage, right, that it's safe to say they have iPhones, unless OP does not have an iPhone. Because iPhones, you have FaceTime, and Android has, I don't know what the hell Android has, Google Chat or whatever it's called. Anyways, you guys want to see my cat? Oliver. Check this out. This is Oliver. This is Oliver, the executive producer. He's an orange tabby. Look at him. This is a short break because this story is intense. So there's my cat. He's, how old are you, dude? 11 by now? Yeah, he's 11. I got him in 2015. It is 2026. So, yeah, he's been my little buddy, and he's running around. So, that's Oliver. Subscribe so that I can afford his food. Okay, so back to this. My lawyer is filing for temporary sole custody of Mary and a restraining order. Mary's still the most angry. She's totally furious with her dad and Amy, justifiably so, of course. Mary is recollecting moments and times she watched her dad interact with her friends, and she's in knots about it. Eric is very clearly hurting, but he's so strong and level-headed. He wants to see a therapist. The maturity my kids are showing makes me proud. They don't deserve this at all. I agree. We made the authorities aware of everything. I plan on being completely unforgiving and ruthless in this divorce. Let's go. I hope they didn't sign a prenup, because you're fucked, Paul. You're fucking fucked, Paul. You piece of shit. I'm reflecting on how I've been treated and how it's made me a shell of a person, and how I've had a very negative opinion of myself because of him over the last 20 years. I don't want to let this scumbag get away with it. I want to reinvent myself and move on stronger than ever. You go, girl. Absolutely, man. How old are you? Like 40s, right? 41. Oh, you got a long life left of you left, and especially your kids already grown up. So once you leave this scumbag, which I mean, it's been about almost 2 years, so I'm assuming you went scorched earth on this piece of shit. So, a few comments, right? A few questions from the comment section. How's your son holding up? What has developed between him and Amy? And OP says he hasn't spoken to Amy yet since finding out the news, and I'm not sure if he ever will again. Good. Don't touch that girl again. Don't let her touch you, homie. Have you confirmed if the thong you found was Amy's? The situation's fucked up. I confirmed that it wasn't my daughter's. She said it wasn't hers, and I know it wasn't mine. So who else's could it be? Yeah, dude. Wait, are you saying that they fucked in the master bedroom? Ooh, good question. But man, that's gross. Don't cheaters always use their married bed? And OP, yes, I believe he did. Fuck. OP, both me and my son are going to get tested and checked out as well. There's no telling how many different women he's been sleeping around with. As for Amy, her mom has been in contact with me, and Amy has been threatening to run away with him because they are, quote, in love. You know what I thought of? Like, this fucked up. You know how they say, is it Eskimo cousins or Eskimo brothers? You know, when, let's say, you and homie smash the same girl, right? And it's such a juvenile way of thinking, but I can't not say the joke, right? So technically, Eric and his dad are Eskimo cousins, but wait, there's hold on, I'm going somewhere with this. My brain is fried. Eric and his dad are Eskimo cousins or brothers, and Amy and the mom are Eskimo sisters. That's not cool, man. Anyways, update. We have an update, March 27, 2024. Let's go. Thank you again for all the love and encouragement. It gives me comfort and means so much. Hold on. Give me a second. Oliver, shut up. My cat's playing with bottle caps. It's so adorable. Okay. Thank you for all the love and encouragement. It gives me comfort and means so much to me. I've received many comments and messages accusing me of faking this story, which oddly also provides comfort because all of this feels so unreal to me. It validates my own feelings that there are people out there who can't even fathom this being true. I wish it were fake. I've been focusing on and worrying about how others are feeling over this. Somewhat ignoring my own feelings, which I'm trying to change. I range from anger to numbness like a light switch. We are all safe and still at my brother's house. We're very careful, and his house is secured. Do they have like fucking guards? Paul has tried to call my cell phone several times a day. I am refusing to interact with him, and I will have my lawyer handle all the correspondence. Oh my God. Correspondence. Correspondence. He scares me, frankly. My brother has a very secure house with an alarm system and a deadbolt locks. We feel safe with him. Good. Both me and my son got checked and tested. It appears so far we're both clean based on immediate rapid tests. But in the coming days, we'll know for certain when the lab results come in. I'm not overly concerned. Eric is scheduled to see a therapist early next week, which is very good and needed. He's not himself right now. He seems a bit shell-shocked. I mean, I'd be too. And I am concerned. He internalizes a lot, and it's hard to get a read on what's going on in his head. That being said, he's thoughtful and has been talking with me, asking me how I'm doing and everything. And he's not interested in corresponding with his dad at all. He calls only my cell phone, and he hasn't tried to reach out to either Eric or Mary. I get the sense that Paul is extremely nervous. He's scared, and I think he deep down knows that if investigated thoroughly, he'd be in big trouble. That's what my gut is telling me. I still think about the Zoom call with him, and the more I think about it, the more I looked. It looked like he was a man whose entire world was crashing down on him. The panic in his face was apparent. Ooh. So he might be freaking out. I'm just speculating, but if his conversations and Amy's conversations got deleted at the same time, it could have been something like, hey, like we've been talking before you were of age and we gotta, cover our tracks. And maybe at the same time they deleted and started over, because OP would have said like, oh, they started communicating 3 months ago, but he said that she only said that what do you call it, conversations on iMessage match. I don't know, man. I smell shenanigans. Um, let's get through this next part quick so we can move on to the next story. So I offered Mary for me to make an appointment with the therapist as well, but she doesn't want to see one yet. She said she's open to it eventually, but wants time to herself. She's been asking her friends about her dad, and if they experienced any creepiness from him. Her friends were open and honest with her, and apparently they felt like he stared a lot and sensed his hovering presence whenever they were over. One of Mary's friends went so far as to say that she felt like he was checking her out a lot, like looking at her rear and complimenting the color of her yoga pants. At the time, no issue was brought up about it, but in light of everything that has been happening, it seems strange now. He would sit himself in different areas or vantage points to get a good view of her, she claimed. He also asked her questions about what kind of friend group or which clique, which clique, how do you say that? Clique, which clique they were in at school. He kept asking about if they were, quote, popular girls. I'm completely embarrassed that they had to experience this at our house. As for updates on Amy, which is the main reason why I wanted to write this update, I completely agree that she is also a victim. A lot of people have been emphasizing that, and I agree. I done everything I could in my own power to indirectly get opportunities to get help. Like I said, I told her mother, and she's been updating me on everything. Amy, unfortunately, is still living in her deluded reality, and I can only pray that she'll eventually come to her senses. She doesn't want to see any doctors or therapists at all, and has been constantly trying to reach Paul because, again, she believes they're in love. From what I've been told, she hasn't been able to get a hold of him, and he's been avoiding communication with her completely. Okay. Amy blames me for that and believes I took away his devices and am very controlling. Any truth that her mother tries to convey to her is met with conspiracy theories and hostility. God damn it, Amy. Amy looks at me as a villain and still sees Paul through rose-colored glasses. Her mother showed her screenshots of his dating app and profile matches, and she refuses to believe it, saying it's photoshopped. Oh my God, this girl's delusional, dog. It photoshopped it. According to her mom, Amy keeps saying things like everyone is just mad because she found herself a real man. What? And that I'm jealous because she, quote, takes better care of him than I do. It's in line with some of the conversations I screenshotted where a lot of what Paul was saying is him complaining about things I don't do for him sexually. Right now, she's insisting that she and Paul will be together in the long run. Ugh, he's honestly a slimeball. I can only hope that Amy comes to her senses, but me directly intervening doesn't feel like it would be productive at this moment. Maybe eventually, though. Some final comments. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Reading all these previous posts, I honestly get the vibe that your husband wasn't a very good one to begin with. Someday, when you're ready, you're going to find someone who thinks you're glorious as you age. Your son is also going to be okay. He's gotten a lesson on exactly how men shouldn't behave, a painful one. But in time, he's going to realize that Amy was groomed and abused. It sounds like she was vulnerable, and your ex took advantage of a child who was in a bad situation. Hopefully, once Amy has had some time to process just how messed up this was, she'll tell the police the whole story. I fully believe something was happening before she turned 18. OP says, I believe stuff happened before she was 18 too. God damn it, Paul, you piece of shit. Quote, another comment, right? Do you think they kept that relationship secret for most of Eric and Amy's relationship? What a disgusting father and pig, if that is true. OP, I'm not sure when things actually got actually physical or romantic, but I do think his grooming started as soon as she came into the picture when Eric started dating her freshman year. This mentor and a friend that Amy alluded to had to start right away. What? And the way she's acting now, being so indebted and believing every single thing he says, shows that his effect on her he had an effect on her over a long period of time. She only turned 18 like 5 months ago. Her behavior and infatuation for him seems so strong that I couldn't possibly believe that they've only been together for 5 months. So That sucks. Final update. So is this a whole, no, it's a whole like month later. So final update, let's get through the story. So April 8th, 2024. The support again has been overwhelming and I am very grateful. Sadly, I've received a lot of negative slash accuse. You know what? Hold on. I guess a lot of people have been accusing her. She recaps a lot. Let's see if we can get to the meat and potatoes of this update. Okay, so basically OP goes on to say that people have been harassing her, telling her that it's fake, whatever. So as for the divorce, it's very much underway. I'm not going to get into the specifics at all because it's ongoing and I want to make sure that everything is going smoothly. I got temporary custody of Mary. Paul also has to pay temporary child support. There's a protective order. Paul can't contact us or come near us right now. We're just focusing on getting through this legal mess. Again, not getting too specific. Okay, that's a little repetitive. She goes on to address kids' concerns. I know people are invested in the well-being of Amy. There were a lot of questions about whether Eric and Amy would still see each other at school. It sounded like they go to the same school, but they do not. Eric and Amy went to the same school. Okay, so they're in different schools. I wish I had a better Amy update. But I wish you had a better fucking update, man. This is kind of a snooze fest. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just completely kidding. That's it. So she goes on to say that she wishes she could do more for Amy, and that is that story. So my thoughts on that is, I mean, very obviously, right? Like, listen, if you are, and this is so common. I see this so commonly on Reddit stories, right? And I guess like even in real life, right? Especially, I used to go to the church, and it always happened like that. The dudes, once they hit 40 for whatever fucking reason, would get bored of their wives and would try to get at the younger girls, right? Which is completely unacceptable. I understand that marriages might, fizzle out after a while, right? So I believe that it is worth looking and talking with your partner, with your spouse, and assessing, is this worth keeping? Which most of the time it is, like go to counseling. And if after counseling you guys realize like, hey, we're not compatible with each other, go your separate ways. But please don't cheat on each other. And especially, it goes without saying, don't groom that, because that's what it was. Don't groom a young girl like that. I mean, I think about it in my life, right? I'm 33, and if I was, to be single again, there's no way I could date even somebody that's 10 years younger than me, right? And 33 and 23, very legal ages. However, there is an imbalance of I don't know if power is the right word, but when I think about like when I talk to younger people, right? Just talking and all that. I'm not discrediting their smarts, right? Their intellect. Kids are so smart. I'm saying kids anywhere between, even to me, like an 18, 19, 20-year-old person to me is a kid, not in the sense of like, oh, you're dumb, but in the sense of like, hey, you're new to the adult life and you are very green and very, I don't want to say like malleable, but very impressionable, right? And so and I don't consider myself like an older man, like 40, 50s, whatever, but as an older man, right, 33, it's my responsibility to like, first of all, behave, right? And it would be so creepy, in my opinion, to I don't know, talk to somebody that's 10 years younger and like kind of like mess with their minds and whatever. There's a whole conversation that could go into, like age gaps. I don't think things are black and white, but here, this guy, 40, late 40s, mid to late 40s, and a girl who just turned 18, like this is completely unacceptable on so many levels. The age gap, the fact that she was freshly 18 and had been interacting with this fucking dude since she was like 13 or 14, since freshman year. And obviously, another big one is like he cheated on his wife. Not cool. Not fucking cool. And with your son's girlfriend, dude, like, I have a friend. This is a good story, like a quick story, but it's not a bad one. You think you know where this is going, but basically, he's early 30s, and his brother at the time was early 20s, like 21. And his brother had talked to this girl. We'll call her Orchard. Why not? And Orchard, right, same age, like around 21 or whatever. But my friend did not know that they had, and they literally didn't do anything. My friend's brother and the girl, they never did anything. They kind of like, I think they hooked up actually, but they weren't like official or anything. Anyways, cut to a few years later, and the brother, right, had already had a girlfriend, and my friend matched with this girl on Tinder. They went on dates, whatever. They were getting to know each other. They weren't physical yet, but then the brother found out, and he told my friend, "Hey, like me and her had a thing. Like I'd appreciate if you, like don't pursue it." And obviously, like I think like in that situation, since they weren't official or anything, my friend could have, in my opinion, like pursued that, especially since brother already had a girlfriend. They brother and homegirl never did, well, they did hook up, but there was never anything beyond that. But my friend was like, no, like either way, you know what, you're right. Like the girl was like, I think she was 22 and he was 30. Either way, he wasn't comfortable with the age gap. And then the main thing though was he wasn't comfortable, like, like making his brother even a little bit uncomfortable. So that's the complete opposite of what this dad, Paul, in this story did. He didn't give a shit about his kid or his wife or his daughter or literally or even especially Amy. That was not love, you bastard. Okay, I need some water to cleanse my soul from that story. And we'll move on to another cheating story. I guess that's the theme of today. So check it out. This is a younger couple. Original post was from October 19, 2025. So this is fresh. It is February. Wait, it's March. It's March 2026 now. So this was from a few months ago. So I, 27 female, just found out that my boyfriend, 29 male, of 7 years cheated on me. Oh no. So I guess she's been dating this guy since she was 20. And again, I remember being a 20-year-old. It's that's a long time. So she says my boyfriend went to our home state. What? My boyfriend went to our home state to see his family for the weekend. I don't know what that means. He's been going quite often this year, about once a month, saying it is because his grandparents are old and miss him. Oh my God, this girl's grammar is insane. I'm gonna read this and try to make it more legible for you guys. So I thought nothing of it until this morning. I got a screenshot from a mutual friend of ours of my boyfriend's location on Snapchat. Oh yeah, these are people in their 20s. He was at his parents' house, but a girl's Bitmoji was there as well. It wasn't his sister or mom, and his parents, who weirdly also have Snapchat, weren't home either. He didn't tell me he was going to be with anybody else today. I tried to call him, but he did not pick up. Ooh, I've been there before, and it always, based on my experience, when they don't pick up, most of the time, they're out with someone else. So the mutual friend says that my boyfriend was told everyone at home had broken up 4 months ago. He said my boyfriend was making him stay quiet about it. Wait, what? Okay. Last attempt to read the story. If this grammar is really this bad, we're going to skip it. But if this bit is still in the video you're watching, then that means we got through it together. The mutual friend says my boyfriend has told everyone at home we had broken up 4 months ago. He said my boyfriend was making him stay quiet about it because he was trying to find the right time to tell me. As far as his parents know, he's moving home once our lease is up. So they live together. The reason our mutual friend told me was because he walked in on my boyfriend and the girl hooking up with each other this morning. Yo, there was probably like things like flopping around and it probably smelled like fish in there. I texted an old friend who lives in my hometown and she immediately asked why my boyfriend was on Tinder. We caught up and she sent me proof his photos were on Tinder and his bio. It hurt to see that photos I took of him were used. He had even covered his face, my face. He had even covered my face in a photo we took together and said, this could be you. Oh my God. So I've been there before. My job is photography. I do photography for a living. And my ex, I took some really cool photos of her. And, we didn't end up in the best terms. It was her fault. and she was using those photos on her Tinder. So now I disclose that. Like, hey, like if I'm gonna take your photos, we're gonna date. You can't use this on your Tinder, you know. Anyways, I had no idea his family thought we were broken up and that he was looking for other people to date. We even went to Italy a month ago celebrating our 7th anniversary. I'm confused and I don't know what to do. I look around and everything in our apartment seems like a lie. So, really quick, I have a friend who took his girlfriend, he was gonna propose in this big city. I'll let you guess which city that was, out in the west coast of the United States. This was in January, and but he had a hunch, and guess what? She turned out to be cheating, and he found out like a week after they came back from their trip. So, yeah, going on a trip with your significant other doesn't mean shit. In fact, actually, I went to California with my ex, and guess what? She was cheating on me the whole time. So, been there, pal. Anyways, back to the story. The soon-to-be ex. Should I use my radio voice? My fancy voice. The soon-to-be ex texted me just now. No, maybe not. Soon-to-be ex texted me just now. He is on his flight back. He'll be back in about 5 hours. Obviously, he can find his own way to the apartment from the airport. I'm shocked and numb, but my best friend is with me helping me pack up all his clothes. I'm leaving and I'm not leaving a trace of myself behind. Our dog is coming with me. Good. And I'll be staying at my best friend's place from now. My soon-to-be ex and I already have separate bank accounts, and our joint bank account does not have much in it right now. I make more than he does, so he can keep it. I can't go to the leasing office because it's closed on Sundays. But I sent an email asking for an early termination on the lease. We're registering as domestic partners, so I've completed the termination form, and I will drive it up to the LA County office tomorrow. He is on my health insurance, and I've sent an email to HR to kick him off ASAP. Ooh. So this guy was, I don't want to say a freeloader, but he was really relying on his now ex or soon to be ex. Holy shit. Oh my God. We have several large photo albums together, and I'm not sure what to do with those. Keeping them would be too difficult, but I don't want him to have the satisfaction of having our photos. It's clear he uses our memories in a horrible way. Is there anything I'm missing? I can't seem to think of anything, and all my thoughts seem so jumbled. Nothing makes sense, but I know I can't stay. Any help to ghost a person this close to my heart would be appreciated. Okay, I got some tips for you, girl, especially since it's so new. There is an update, but first, some top comments. I love this person's Reddit username, StinkyEye63. Says, take pictures or video of the apartment before you leave so he can't damage it and claim that you did it. Oh, dude, again, one of my friends broke up with his toxic now ex in real life, and she messed up the apartment. Literally same story. She messed up the cabinets, ripped up the carpet, had her dog, like she left her dog trapped in the apartment for like 2 days. I don't know if he had food or water, probably not, but in those 2 days she was out with some other dude, and the dog shit all over the apartment. So yeah, I have a friend that has gone through something like that. So here's an update, because the OP doesn't seem to have replied to that comment. But update October 20th, the next day. Let's go. Thank you, everyone, for all the solid advice. I'm compiling everything I did in this first section. So if others need a way to cut contact with the person, they can reference this as mentioned in the comments. That's a good move, OP. So check it out. I logged myself out of our Apple TV and Xbox. Good. I canceled the Wi-Fi that I paid for and returned the modem to the carrier. Dude, she was paying for a lot of shit. I took my payment information for utilities off our account. I packed up all our sauces, spices, and cooking oils and took note to only leave dried rosemary behind. He hates that shit. Okay, that's petty in the best way. I printed out and framed the screenshot of his Tinder profile and left it in the kitchen table. I closed a piece of dog poop into the frame as well. Oh, that's funny. I'll keep the photo albums. He can have this. I took a video of the entire apartment after packing up all my things. I left my keys in the mailbox to the leasing office and emailed the leasing office of my departure with the videos of what the apartment looked like prior to locking up. Good. I updated my address for the USPS, vet hospital, school, work, and my dog's chip. I talked to HR and am in the process of getting him off my health insurance, changing the benefactor of my life insurance to my partner's. If only I could name my dog and emergency contact. Okay. I'm going to the bank to take myself off of the joint bank account. Fortunately, I'm not worried about my credit as all of our finances have stayed separate, but I'm grateful to those who told me to freeze my credit. Honestly, there's four more things she says, but I don't know. I'm a big advocate of keeping stuff separate. I mean, alimony, whatever you want to do, right? But I don't know. House payments, especially since they weren't married, right? Like they were still boyfriend and girlfriend of 7 years. So it makes sense to keep stuff separate. So I logged out of all devices for all streaming services, social media, and my work, personal and school email. I blocked them on all social media, chat rooms, and his phone number. I made a doctor's appointment to get STD tested. I'm on my way to an appointment with the county office to terminate our domestic partnership. Okay, what the fuck is a domestic partnership? Let's look it up. Domestic partnership. Is that marriage? A domestic partnership is a legal or recognized relationship between two adults who live together and share a committed life, offering some benefits of marriage, such as health insurance, hospital visitation. Oh, interesting. So what's the difference, though, between that and marriage? I don't know. Wow, I did not know that. That's just marriage with extra steps. Okay, so she's gonna get a STD check, whatever. She's on her way. Okay, cool. So it's been an incredibly busy 18 hours, but I've had a lot of help from my friends. I haven't been able to sleep either. As far as what happened since he arrived, here's what's up. I already blocked him before he landed. Good. I received many texts and calls from his parents and sister that I did not see. Then, when I noticed his sister calling, I picked up. At first, the call was hostile. She accused me of being some kind of crazy ex-girlfriend that couldn't let her brother go. Funny, since I just packed up and left. She brought up that it had been 4 months and that I needed to move on. I told her that the ex never approached me about breaking up and that 1 month ago we celebrated our 7th anniversary and started to plan our wedding. I had no indication he even wanted to break up. We reset a bit, and she allowed me to tell her my side of the story. I told her he was somewhat distant this year, but he blamed it on their grandparents being old and wanting to spend more time with them before they die. Turns out that their grandparents have been dead for 2 years. I never even met them because my ex claimed that they were super racist. Since the grandpa was a Vietnam War vet, Asian, turns out you can't be racist when you're dead. Oh shit. We ended the call on a positive note with his sister saying that it was a lot to take in. She said she felt bad as the girl he was cheating on me with was one of her friends. She had introduced them to each other sometime last year when my ex was apparently unhappy with the relationship. Why would you introduce? They were still. They hit it off, and he was supposed to break it off with me. I guess he never had the balls to do so. She was also confused as to why he was on Tinder, as he was in a relationship with her friend. I sent her all the Tinder receipts after hanging up. Later in the night, I received an email from the ex. To sum it up, yes, he asked me to come to the apartment to talk it out. No, he did not apologize for anything. He ended the email with, "I love you." As far as I know, he doesn't know where I am. I also don't believe he knows where my friend lives, as she just moved and he hasn't been there. He hasn't been here yet. He also doesn't seem like the type of person, but I guess I don't really know him at all. We'll keep locks ready and bats near the door. Good. It's been so helpful just writing about everything that's happened so far, but all your advice, support, guidance through the situation has made me feel empowered. Has made me feel empowered me to leave. Oh my God, what the fuck is she saying? I get it. At times I wanted to stop packing and hope that when he came home, everything would go back to normal and the text would just be a distant memory. Your words of encouragement have really helped me follow through and leave. Nothing good would have come from me staying. Thank you all again. Edit. Sorry, I was unclear about the timeline. The parents and sister called me about 2 hours after he landed. I assume it was because he got home and realized the person paying half his rent will no longer be doing so and reached out to his family. The dog poop may have contributed to the heightened emotions. Ha, bastard. So, some of the comments. Uh, but, 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 but whatever he really hates. But whatever he really hates, leave that behind. If he's ever expressed a dislike of celery, salt, or Worcestershire sauce, how do you say that? Worcestershire sauce. That needs to be the only thing in the cupboard because fuck that guy. OP. The dried rosemary was left behind. It's his least favorite flavor. Subtle and incredible. Thank you. Haha. Logging out doesn't change your passwords. If he happens to know them, he can just log back in or go in and change them himself. She's like, good point. The passwords will be changed ASAP. Good. I bow to the queen of handling shit. She says, honestly, shout out to my dog shitting at the perfect time to press it into the picture frame. He really was there when I needed him the most. No, win for the dog. Adorable. Okay, we have another fucking update. Here we go. I try to make it okay. Hi everyone. The last couple of weeks have been very difficult. After the dust settled, I lost my steam and was inconsolable for a while. Nah, that's normal, even in bad relationships, girl. Got you. Not I got you in a weird way. It's like I got you in solidarity, where I've been there a lot. I'm also a musician, as you can probably tell by the instruments behind, so I've written a lot of songs about that. Anyways, I'm fine, but emotionally, this breakup has been very difficult. And an update on some of the logistics that I listed in the last update. The lease, she spelled leased, will be terminated in 15 days. The initial email I sent out was my 30-day notice. I paid a lump sum of 2 months rent plus prorated rent for 2 weeks. I don't know how, but I didn't need my ex's signature or anything to accomplish this, which I thought was weird, but did not question. I emailed the termination of lease to the ex. My payment info is no longer on utilities. You already said that. I was able to get, dude, she's just saying everything she did. She got him off her health insurance. The form of domestic partnership has been submitted. It will take 5 to 6 months for it to be processed and officially terminated, since I didn't have him with me to sign, and that's fine by me. Let's go. As of now, I'm not positive for any STDs, but I will check again in several weeks as advised by my doctor. And lastly, the joint bank account was closed. I was not able to take myself off of it without him being present, but I was able to close it myself. I mailed his parents' house the check of everything in there. It was less than $10. That's hilarious. This girl, she knows what's up though. She may not be good at spelling, but I don't blame her. That's a lot of writing. But she's taking care of business. I would have done like one of those things every week. That's how long it takes me to do shit. So good on you, OP. So after emailing the ex the termination lease and that he's no longer a dependent on my health insurance, I got a reply from him saying I ruined his life. No apology. Not that it would have changed anything. I know a lot of people wanted more info about his family and him, but I haven't reached out to them or answered when they reach out to me. I just don't have the heart for it. But my parents did. My dad did get a call from the ex. The ex told him that I kicked him out of the apartment, untrue, as he still has his keys, and that he won't have access to his meds anymore due to not being on my insurance. True. He created a sob story about his grandparents' death being hard on him and that I wasn't there to support him in that time. Somehow this was an excuse to being unfaithful, but he wanted to work it out with me. Both my parents speak English just fine, but said, sorry, we do not speak English, and hung up. Kudos to his racist parents for inspiring my dad. None of us have heard from him ever since. Both my parents speak English just fine, but said, sorry, we no speak English, and hung up. Kudos to his racist parents for inspiring my dad. None of us have heard from him since. I will say I am extremely lucky I have a job and I'm financially stable. Though paying the termination fees and whatnot was difficult, I know I will be okay in the long run. I'm also very lucky my non-romantic relationships have kept me afloat. Although the last couple of weeks have been... Oh, hold on. I got a little distracted. Check it out. My little cat's right here. Oh, you can't see him. Watch. I'll read this next part with him right for you guys' enjoyment if you guys are watching, although most of you are probably audio only. So this is Oliver. So I'm extremely lucky. I have a job, blah, blah, blah. Though the last couple of weeks have been some of the hardest in my life, my best friends, family, and even coworkers have been here to support me. I've also started therapy, which I'm also lucky to have access to. Honestly, yeah, everybody should do therapy. I should do therapy. I'm very uh, much in need of therapy. Are we all? I'm so thankful to all of you who shared your advice in the comments and who have reached out to me to make sure I'm doing well. The support I've gained from this community and my own community shows me I didn't really lose that much in this breakup. Instead, I've gained so much. It's been difficult to mourn the future I thought I would have, but as time has passed, I realized that future wasn't that great in the first place. I likely won't post again for a while, partially because of the second post limit, but also because even in 2 weeks, nothing much has happened, and I want to focus more on moving on. I hope if you're in a similar situation, you also have the strength to leave. And honestly, oh shit, my cat just turned on lights, touch activated lights. So try not to get distracted by this tale. But this is once again, if you've been following the video earlier, I said that it is unfortunately sometimes a canon event to be cheated on. And then you do learn a lot of lessons through that. When you're cheated on, right, you can either one fall into a depression. Well, it's normal to be depressed even if the relationship was not good, but you can really fall into things like drinking or compensating in unhealthy ways. Or two, right after, yeah, like you grieve, but then you lock in and you become stronger. You come out of it stronger. Like, is it Katy Perry that says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger"? Right? No, that's not Katy Perry. Is it Katy Perry? Whoever sings that song, but it's true. It's such a common saying. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And so I do believe that from heartbreak comes a lot of great lessons. And so OP, I wish you the best, girl. And you're doing fine. You don't need this schmuck. This schmuck is a schmuck. Okay, let's do a palate cleanser because those stories were freaking long. Actually, here's another thing. This is my first, video on this channel, actually. So this is my first time reading Reddit stories, and I used to do vlogs literally before the word vlog existed. Like this was like 2007 or 8 when YouTube started, and I used to vlog with my friends. We used to do literally like talking videos at school. We used to be in video productions class, and we had a show on YouTube. And I missed that. So I'm back here. As you discover more about me, you'll start to see all the other stuff I do. Like I said, I'm a musician. I'm a music producer, photographer. I do movies. Well, lately it's been just short videos and here and there. Been gaming a lot. So you'll see some of that. But let's cleanse our palate because those stories were long. I have ADHD and it was very hard to keep up with these. Honestly, if you made it this far, again, knowing that this is my first video, honestly, thank you so much. I already feel like I got better at reading Reddit stories, even though I've been doing it for a whopping 56 minutes of my life. So here's a short story, another cheating story. So check it out. Found Tinder on my girlfriend's phone. Ooh, brother, I feel for you. Last night, I, 22 male, was out to dinner with my girlfriend, 22F, female, to dinner, when I had noticed Tinder on her phone with 3 apps installed behind it. What does that mean? 3 apps installed behind it. I immediately stormed out of the restaurant because her and I have had a few instances in the past where I felt like she was hiding very important things from me. And at this point, I was just done. She proceeded to text me saying she could explain and that it was her friend logged in to my girlfriend's phone and she had done so the day before and that I didn't give her a chance to show me. Was I in the wrong? Is she cheating on me? Or should I believe that her friend was on her account? Okay. Shit. This girl thought about that alibi. I mean, okay, that's a tough one. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Let me put myself in this man's place. 22. I mean, I can only put myself in this guy's place as a man in my 30s, right? So what would a man in his 30s do and what would a man in his 20s do? In my 20s, I would immediately be like, you know what? Fuck that noise. Get out of here with that fake Tinder excuse. But I was 22 in 2025, I believe. And so back then, sure, it would have been common, like, hey, no, actually not even. I think the last time somebody was like, hey, can I log into your into my Facebook through your phone or through your computer or whatever, the last time that was common was probably like 2010, maybe 2013, the latest 2014 maybe, but this was posted 12 hours ago. So you know what, no, fuck that. um, Especially in modern times now, as my age, right? I would have talked to her like, hey, what the hell? What the hell is that? Pull up the Tinder. And then at that point, you can see, you can tell when somebody's lying, right? So like, if she was like, oh, it's my friends, I'd be like, well, let me see, pull it up. And if she didn't want to show me, then we can accurately confirm that it was that she's cheating. And if she was to show me like, look, no, it was my friends, I'd be like, show me the DMs, and there was nothing fishy there. I'd give her the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, that's a bonehead move, right? Installing Tinder on your phone when you're in a relationship, even if it's for your friend, quote unquote. So, comments. I would have done the same if I were you. No explaining could fix that. Why wouldn't she tell you? It's always better to tell and not to find out. And with the story, with the history of secrecy well done. Oh, yeah, that's another detail. She had a few instances in the past where I felt like she was hiding something important. You got to trust your gut on this. The few times I've trusted my gut with this kind of stuff, it has led to me discovering some shit in previous relationships. So, yeah. This guy, it's bullshit. Keep walking. And then somebody comments, and start running, Rick. Another person, is this OP? No. Another commenter, her friend didn't have a phone but had an urgent need to check her Tinder messages. Sounds like a bullshit excuse to me. Another commenter replies, I wonder if the friend happens to be named Clara or Susan. I don't get it. There must be something behind that. I don't think there is an update. Let's search update, and we'll keep this one in mind for a future episode. This will be our last story of the day. It's relatively short, and it's a confession. So this is very interesting when people confess to cheating. The title is Confession. I, 24 female, cheated on my amazing boyfriend, 25 male, once at the gym, and the guilt is eating me alive. Do I tell him? So immediately from the title, right? She's framing it as like, I cheated on my amazing, but she's painting him up to be this amazing boyfriend, right? And the guilt is eating me alive. Do I tell him? She is in a crossroads based on the title, and she seems genuine, probably. But I mean, she did cheat, so let's find out. Let's all give her collectively a slight benefit of the doubt. So, we've been together for 3 years, living together for 1. He's genuinely the kindest person, cooks for me when I'm stressed, plans cute dates, talks about our future like it's set in stone, marriage, travel, maybe kids later. I never thought I'd do something like this. I started going to the gym more and more after work to feel better about myself. I gained a bit during lockdown. There's this trainer there, 28 male, always super encouraging, flirty comments that I laugh off at first. One evening after a late session, the gym was almost empty. He offered to spot me on lifts, then suggested drinks, quote, as friends, unquote, at a bar nearby. I said yes because I felt flattered and my boyfriend was out of town for work. Okay, let's pause there for a little bit. We're about halfway through the story. Ugh. First of all, why are you going to get drinks after the gym? You're going to lose your gains, dog. I used to be pretty fit for a while. I actually haven't hit the gym at all this year, probably like once. So I lost all the gains, man. I should probably go right now. It's 2:46 a.m. actually. I like working out at night. But I don't know, working out, then going to get drinks. Second of all, actually, that was the second of all. So first of all, what the fuck? Oh my God. Okay, this escalated quickly. Drinks led to his place. We hooked up. It was quick, passionate, different from what I'm used to. I left right after, blocked him everywhere the next day. It was stupid, drunk mistake fueled by ego and insecurity. I haven't spoken to the guy since. Oh my God. So yeah, when you're attracted to somebody and you're in a relationship, drinks is not the best idea. Actually, a lot of this was not the best idea. So that was 4 weeks ago. I can't look at my boyfriend in the eye without feeling sick. Sex feels wrong now. I fake enthusiasm or make excuses. I cry in the shower thinking about how I've ruined something perfect over one night of nothing. Part of me wants to confess so he knows the real me and can decide if he still wants this. But I'm terrified he'll leave and I'll deserve it. The other part thinks burying it and being the best partner forever is the only way to make up for it. Have any cheaters here confessed a one-time thing and actually rebuilt? Or does the guilt just fade if you never tell? I don't want advice on leave him. I want to fix this, but I don't know how I can without honesty. Okay. All right. I got you. I've been on both ends of this shit. I've made a mistake in my early 20s like this before too. So it is, and I know people that have done it as well. So it is common, but it is shitty. It doesn't, there's no excuse for it, quite frankly. And obviously, like, I got my karma times 3 actually. And I'm not saying I'm not keeping score, right? But again, being on both ends of this situation, I'll level with you. You know, what you did was very wrong, right? And the fact that you're feeling guilt doesn't mean, you know, you're a freaking monster, right? You are wrong for doing it. Shame on you. But also good for you that you are, you know, owning up to it. Well, it seems like you know the answer. You're just here to hear it from somebody else, and that's completely okay. So yeah, you got to be honest. That's literally it. What happened? That's the first step. You got to think one step at a time. I know, like, right now your head is probably like, shit, I'm gonna lose him, the best, you know, my favorite person, right? That more than likely will happen, more than likely, right? But you got to take it one step at a time. The first step, honesty, right? You got to fess up. Hey, without saying like, it meant nothing, it was a mistake. No, you say exactly what happened. Hey, so I want to tell you what happened. I do feel bad about it, and there's no excuse for it, but I cheated on you. I did however much detail you want to get into it, and it's up to homie to ask you, well, what exactly did you guys do? Did he put it in your butthole and then oral right after? Because that's nasty, probably, unless you have a really anyways. So irrelevant, the details. What's relevant is you got to be honest. I fucked up. I wish I hadn't done it, but I did it. Ball is in your court. And then you guys work through it. I don't think you're you clearly know that you're not in a position where you can negotiate, staying together. At the end of the day, it's going to be up to, you know, your amazing boyfriend, as you called him, to decide if he's going to stick around, make it work. Although I'll tell you this, once you cheat, it's really hard to get back to it on both sides. First of all, you yourself, you feel really gross, right? And that might take some couples counseling, therapy, whatever, working through it. If he decides to stay with you, if he decides to leave you, it is going to hurt. It's going to hurt him, but it is going to be the best decision. Whatever decision you guys make, good luck. And don't do it again, man. I'm telling you, like, that shit is never fucking worth it. Never worth it. I mean, if I can also confess, right? Like what I mentioned, right? I alluded to that I did a similar mistake in my early 20s. And yeah, it is an ego thing, right? Thankfully, I'm older now, and that part of my ego is no longer, you know, like active. Where like now, if I really want to go and do stuff with, if I'm in a relationship and want to do stuff with another person or whatever, I will end the relationship and go and not hurt anybody. I gotta do it the right way. But back in the day, yeah, like I used to drink a lot, not a lot, but enough to like where like party life was the life, and, you know, being what do you call it, just being obnoxious and living life, quote, right? So been there. Looking back on it, was it worth it? No, 0% not worth it. At the moment, it is like, oh my God, bro, guess what I just did? Look, see this girl right here. Oh my God, she saw it. I did that. What about your girlfriend? Dude, fuck it. Not worth it at all. And so there is character growth, right? So, the scenario here is probably you guys are going to break up, and it's up to you to, you know, love yourself enough to be able to put that part of the ego away. If you want to hook up with, different people, stay single for as long as you like. I mean, you are in your mid 20s. Yeah, you're in your mid 20s, 24 going on, well, early 20s going to your mid 20s. This is a great time to discover what you like. If you like to be, what do you call it? Hook up with a lot of people, hook up casually here and there, or you want to just find a person and be with them for the rest of your life. This is the best time. So I think you've been together for 3 years, and yeah, in your early 20s, I do believe that is the experimentation phase of your life. So if you break up, find yourself before, and obviously it doesn't mean like, okay, now you fully found yourself before jumping into another relationship, but whatever you got to get out of your system, or whatever you got to get in your system, if you know what I mean, get it done when you're single. So good luck to that. Oh, good luck to you. Now, reading the comments, yeah, a lot of people are telling him so he can end it. Here's another comment. Oh, he will 100% end it. You chose to allow the flirting instead of ending it right then and there. You chose to meet this guy for drinks. You chose to go to his place. You chose to hook up with him. You chose to let a man use you for sex. You were a conquest to him, nothing more. You chose to throw away a man that actually loves you for what? Some dude that now gets to tell others at the gym that he hooked up with you. Was protection used? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good detail. You made so many choices along the way, and now you're considering taking away your boyfriend's right to choose. You're faking being intimate with the man. Thinks you're experiencing the same level of bonding and connection as he is. It wasn't a drunk thing. A ton of choices were made before you had any alcohol. Think about this. You are not faking excitement to be with your boyfriend, but you had no issue being excited to hook up with someone else, with somebody that doesn't care about you at all. Why would anyone stay with somebody like that? So shit. And if you didn't use protection, I really hope you haven't given him anything. Reread your first paragraph. You threw that away. You never thought that you would have someone like him, and congrats, you won't have someone like him anymore. Damn, that comment was harsh. Very valid though, because yes, when you are in a position of cheating or thinking about cheating with somebody, it is not just one choice, or not just one mistake. It is, hey, you know what? Like you kind of push it a little bit further, and sometimes in the back of your mind, right? Like let's think of a kid, right? A kid that might, let's say, you have a kid, you have a son, right? And your son, it pisses you off when your son jumps on the couch, right? Just like jumps up and down. And you tell him, do not jump on the couch. And he sees, like, he does a little hop, trying to see how far he can take it before disaster hits, right? That's how kids are. But that's also how young adults are, how adults, as we saw in the first story, right? How they are. They see how far they can push it, right? I have a friend, had a friend that is married, early 50s. And so he, just like a lot of people his age, and like the person in the first story, is growing tired of his marriage. So here and there, he flirts with people in Instagram DMs. I don't know how the fuck he manages to do that, but he does. And he's like, no, nothing's going to happen, whatever. I don't know if anything has happened, but the point is, you try to see how far you can push it, but it is a very dangerous line. Because once you get that little bit of dopamine, it's like, okay, cool, how much further? And you keep making decision after decision. It's not mistake after mistake. Oh my God, I was vulnerable in most situations. But here, yeah, like once you hear like, oh, like let's go out to have a drink as friends. Well, like for example, when you're in that position, let's say you accept literally as friends the decision to not tell your boyfriend about it. Like, hey, I'm going to go out with this friend, and we're going to go out for drinks. I'm only going to be out for 1 hour, and then I'm going to text you right after so that you know that I'm home. Even that, like it's pushing it a little bit, but you're still making a choice. Now, once you make that first choice, you're like, okay, I'll keep it secret from my significant other. You start making, it gets easier to repeat bad choices like that. And then you end up like this. So think with your head, not with your other head. So that's it, guys. Thank you if you stuck around this long on my first reading Reddit video. Let me know any feedback in the comments. I actually will do a lot better at reading these stories, a little bit more concise and having a little bit less ADHD moments, but at the same time, I do like to give my insight. I've experienced a lot in life, so I can relate to a lot of these stories. And if you're, younger, on the younger side, in your 20s, or even like in your 30s like me, or even older than that, or however old you are, if you listen to these stories for entertainment, in the background while playing Resident Evil 9 for the third time, I got you. If you're actually watching this and watching my mug as I talk to you, also thank you. Feel free to subscribe. I plan on doing these several times a week. And the next episode, I already found some Reddit stories that are extremely, extremely juicy. We're going to be pushing, just like this chick at the last story was pushing, seeing how far she could take it. We're going to push YouTube, right? Because like a lot of like other, channels, they'll say things like, if they're talking about murder, they'll say like unalive. I don't want to censor myself like that, right? So until this channel is monetized, we're gonna read the real shit. I saw some stories where somebody hooked up with their cousin by accident, and that's hilarious and also terrible. So we're gonna read some of those next time too. But thank you guys once again. My name's Emmanuel, and you have yourself a good, lovely day, you lovely piece of